Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another indie comic book review. The books we are going to be talking about in this episode were released on April 30th, 2014. You guys are going to notice this is going up on Monday morning. I completely forgot to mention this during the weekly comic book haul, but due to Mother's Day, and we had a huge Mother's Day this year, not only because of Cindy, but because of also Mike had somebody who came to visit for the first time. If you want to know who that is, you can check out Brooklyn Boys later on, or if you're a friend of ours on Facebook.
Comic Frontline too.
Comic Frontline, you guys will know that. But anyway, beside the point, we decided to do the exact same schedule like last week. So basically, you're going to be seeing this Monday morning, and then Tuesday morning, you're going to have the Big Two review. Guys, there were a lot of books for the Big Two, and a lot of events. 3, to be exact, and we wanted to take the time out to actually, to fully read them and fully, go from page to page instead of skipping over stuff, because then that kind of screws up the review, takes away from the review.
I did every page.
And we want to give you guys 100%, so we decided to push it forward again. I mentioned this on Twitter, guys. If you're not following me on Twitter, it's twitter.com/DarkAvengersC86. Follow me on Twitter, and if I ever forget to mention something in a video, or if I ever have to make a last-minute announcement or an announcement period, it will be there. The morning stream this weekend also was skipped due to the fact that Brant had a convention that he went to, and obviously today was a big day for me, so we didn't have the chance to record. So that's again another thing that I didn't even mention it on Twitter. I didn't think that we were gonna miss it,
There's
but
just a lot
last
of things
minute, yeah, we did.
Just been going
So
on.
enough of the news. Let's get into the books. We have 2 physical copies, 10 digital copies, and let's waste no time. Go ahead.
So I will start with 2 of mine, which are the physical copies of Archie Comics Mega Man issue number 36.
With one of the 2 alternate endings.
Yes.
Oh, it's only 1 month. I forgot to mention. They're only doing this for 1 month. Remember how I was complaining how you had to buy both covers to get the... It's only a 1 month thing, so technically it's only 2 Sonic issues and 2 Mega Man. Yeah, they're not doing it after this month anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a variant edition, and we had to get that in order to get the 1 or 2 endings, which was kind of...
Well, the variant edition looked better than the regular edition, that's all I'm going to say.
But basically, all I could say is that it was just showing like what happened during the Ramoon when Mega Man was fighting against Ramoon and everything, and the title just says it all. So, trial of Dr. Wily, where he says that he's a changed man thanks to Mega Man, and the judges said that the judge actually found him not guilty and to live under Dr. Light's house arrest for 5 years. And I thought he really turned over a new leaf, Dr. Wily, but some of the parts, like, yeah, he just looks like, And then they wanted to let bygones be bygones, him and Dr. Light, where Shaonan makes an entrance, and if you want to see what happened there, you can read the book. So there's a big assembly that's going on, and Dr. Wily shows this new robot called Gamma, which both Dr. Light and Dr. Wily created. And then Dr. Wily, or Dr. Light's, like Snake Man, Spark Man, Neo Man come in and steal the energy element, and now it's up to Mega Man to go chase them and get it back. And the alternate ending is this right here, where they talk about the element, and looks like Proto Man now is in control. And now Mega Man has to face his real challenge. And I like how the next issue, Dawn of DX, there's going to be like a crossover collision between Mega Man and Mega Man X. So that's... I didn't really expect that to happen, but collision course.
Well, that's why they
separate them. But hey, I would like to see it. But this is definitely good, especially for the kids to read and Mega Man fans. So definitely pick that up. And this one right here was really amazing from IDW, Ghostbusters Mass Hysteria Part 3 of Ghostbusters issue number 15. Lewis returns in the Ghostbusters comic book. Or was he ever in a Ghostbusters comic book?
He was.
He was? Oh, okay. I didn't know, because for me reading this for the first time...
I don't know, if he wasn't in this series and he wasn't in the previous volume, but before that I think he was.
Right, but it talks about... I like this page right here where it talks about Ghostbusters 1 and 2 references, and how he wanted to leave after a while because of all this that happened, and Janine. Meanwhile, Dana is trapped in the door that has bricks on it, but she found her way out, and things don't look so good for her because she got possessed.
We didn't see that coming.
I saw that coming a mile away. Meanwhile, the new Ghostbuster members are finding out more about Gozer, which I found really interesting. Lewis goes into a bar, and then stuff don't work out for him. Oh my God, Walter Peck! I seriously, and artwork's great by the way. I seriously and utterly hate this guy. He tells Dr. Venkman, you know, oh, you're so irresponsible, you're just sitting around and seeing all this happening, you know, and this and that, and you need to be responsible for everything that's going on. So, one cry for help. Peter Venkman's on the way on this really cool motorcycle right here.
And he noticed the voice, and the voice was Dana, yeah.
Yeah, and then he goes to the house, and there's these mystical things that are going on. And what happens at the end? Well, Ghostbusters 1 Deja Vu much? Is all I'm going to say. If you want to know what happens, read the book.
And also, guys, I remember I mentioned about the G.I. Joe recap. Apparently, in one of the books this week, I was reading the G.I. Joe book. Fall of G.I. Joe is coming this September.
Oh.
That might be when the monthly recap starts. So, just a little bit of a tidbit, a little bit of a teaser for you guys there.
First Wolverine, not G.I. Joe?
Well, we don't know what it is yet. It is in the
know.
fall, so we don't know if it's just... We'll find out.
But anyway, guys, highly recommend you pick up Ghostbusters next to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books. It's just that amazing.
Now, guys, originally we had 11 digital books to review. Right. One book we didn't have a chance to catch up with, and that was Rye issue number 1. Mike doesn't have a picture of it.
Yeah, because there was no cover when I looked.
Not only that there was no cover, there was so much dialogue. It put Thor to shame. Every page had wall-to-wall dialogue, to the point where it's pretty late in the night, and we had a very busy weekend, and we got through every single one of these other books we're about to review.
Yep.
That was the last one. We usually like to leave Xenoscope and Valiant. Well, we do the recap. We do Valiant towards the end. We read those books last because we really like them. And Rye, I got halfway through, and I had to stop because it's very dialogue heavy.
I even stopped. I couldn't even get to the end. I'm like,
no time.
The end? I mean,
so the artwork's great, the story has promise, but there was just so much dialogue.
And so much to take in as well from the story. I mean, I could take in a
there
little
was
bit.
Internal dialogue, there was voice, there was word bubbles, there was thought bubbles, there was everything you guys can imagine. It almost
took up the whole page.
Right.
Of the whole
literally.
thing, a whole panel.
So we did not get a chance to fully read Rye. So we can't really review it because we didn't get to finish it. My one complaint is the fact that there was so much dialogue that if you have to read this book on the fly, I'm sorry, I don't think you will. If you have the time to sit down and read it, it looks to be a very, very in-depth book, but it was just way too much reading for us to do, especially on a very tight schedule this week. So we didn't get to finish Rye. It looks good. Up to you guys. In my opinion, though, a little bit too much dialogue, especially for a first issue.
Absolutely.
So that's Valiant.
Yeah.
Now we're going into Dark Horse.
Yes, and we're starting with that one?
Blackout.
Yes, Blackout. Right
issue number 2?
I think that's issue number 3. Is it?
I don't know. It doesn't have a number on it.
Did you put on the top?
Issue number 2.
Oh, issue number 2. Okay, yeah. I thought it was 2 or 3. But yeah, but basically it talks about how he got caught with the guards because he wanted to take that the chip because he was trying to go from portal to portal, and one of the men got into the portal and it was so cold, and he throws him back because, like I said, he really just wanted that chip, and the portals weren't really working out for him. And there's this thing that he has now on his hand, and he doesn't know what it is, like different colors, because one time it was yellow. Then the next time when he did the portal things, it was a red color, I believe. As the issue continues, like there's a lot of parts about it with the portals and having problems. He tries to crack. He asks one of his assistants to try to crack the code, and they couldn't get in it. And then these new robots come in, where the head of the government, I forgot what her name was, the one that was in the last pages of the To Be Continued. So robots are doing everything, and that doesn't look so good. Meanwhile, Blackout's trying his portals and everything, and works out okay or not, but he just wants to make sure that the portals will work out fine. So when he tries it again, let's just say that circle thing that I said that turned red as the pages continue did happen, and I think it looks like he's trapped. And I had, and that's to be continued, and I looked at King Tiger, which was the one that they put after.
The little added story at the end?
Yeah, not really that interested. I mean, that's just my opinion, but the next cover looks really something, so the robots are gonna, and Blackout's gonna meet his match, I believe, in that one.
So how did Captain Midnight go in Captain Midnight number 10?
Yeah, so Captain Midnight issue number 10. It talks about, like, it really goes back where this boy wanted to be like Captain Midnight. And it talks about the origin story. And it plays a role in this, and I'll tell you why. So, there's this mission where he wants to go meet up with, I think Ramsey his name is, because he wanted to find out answers of why he made that deal with that woman. So when he goes there, there's like a whole big dialogue where they talk to each other, and you could definitely read the comic book for yourself to see what that conversation was. So as he goes in there's lots of action. The artwork, along with
artwork's beautiful.
Yeah, the other comic book had great artwork too. I forgot to mention Blackout. But this artwork was really good, like highly detailed, and even that new machinery that they wanted to give to Captain Midnight, that one right there, which looks like a Batmobile. I mean, it looks really nice. And yeah, so the Ramsey actually. Like, it looks like he was going to challenge him, but then Helios comes in, and we all know how Helios is, like, from when he killed the other one. But when he unmasked Captain Midnight, that wasn't the real Captain Midnight. It was actually the kid that we saw from the beginning, and the real Captain Midnight took something, I believe it was like some type of whatever it is. I mean, you're going too fast. I'm trying to remember what it was that he took. Like there was something.
He took my.
Like he took something that was like of importance to the machinery, like I think a key or something, or
I think so,
or whatever it was. But yeah, but basically he took something of importance to the machine, and they were going to shoot Captain Midnight, but the other Captain Midnight, who was the kid, took the sacrifice for Captain Midnight. Spoiler there. And he didn't like that happened very much, so he's really mad about this, and he's going to go after the guy who was in full control. And now it's Helios versus Captain Midnight in the next issue, the real Captain Midnight. And after that, I was like, oh, why did you leave me on a cliffhanger? I wanted to see the fight. Because now it's the real Captain Midnight going up against Helios. I was like, oh my god, how can you do this to me? But definitely worth the read, and highly recommend all of you out there. Definitely check out Captain Midnight. I'm really enjoying his books.
Okay.
Or the stories that whoever makes it.
A lot of Dark Horse this week. Continuing with Dark Horse.
Furious, issue number 4. I got it. I had to look at the picture. So Furious issue number 4, there was like lots of stuff that was going on in this, like she's just trying to tell people that she wanted to be called the Beacon, and people are calling her Furious, and she actually puts Furious in a different term, but I'll get to that when we get to halfway through the story. So she's just doing her thing, just fighting crime and everything, and using her rage to, because she thinks her rage will definitely get people to talk, or basically not do it again. So there are these people that are trying to help her to say that, that she shouldn't be, mad and everything, because it leads her to do destructive things. And she's just confused because she doesn't know, how to control it and everything. Because we saw her childhood life, so I could understand that. For those of you who read previous issues of Furious. And then there's this other girl who, let's just say, she's a psycho crazy, and she wants to go after Furious as well. I mean, there's always a character that wants to go after the main character all the time. So there's like a TV news interview thing where she's not going to be called Furious or the Beacon, she wants to be called Furia instead of just Furious. So her name is Furia. And then, you know, she talks with the girl, and the little girl, actually. And the little girl gets taken by the maniac woman. I can't remember her name for the life of me right now. And they have a little bit of a fight scene. So then she tells her that you want to save this little girl, well, then you're going to have to try harder. And that's where it leaves us off.
Next issue is the last one.
Oh, it is? Oh, I
The
thought...
Beacon included.
Oh, I wasn't really enjoying that.
Unless it's the end of the first story arc.
Probably, but Furia, I was like saying that's not really a bad name. I mean, hey, if she can't get the Beacon and she don't want to be called Furious, then maybe Furia. I don't know where the came from, but it works. What do you think? It works, Furia?
Absolutely. I'm sorry, I was just looking at the
just yeah. All right, so where we're.
I think we only have one more here. Yeah.
All right, let me get the.
This I read with you.
Yeah. Oh, that one? Oh,
The Terminator, Enemy of My Enemy. Issue number 3. This is your Terminator book, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it. Ah, here it is. The Enemy of My Enemy is the book. Enemy of My Enemy, I've read this book and I actually like...
It makes sense now because...
Yeah, but the ending really got me, like, saying, like, okay, this is weird, but there's a good way weird. So we just see the Terminator himself, you know, how he's just destroying everything, and he's looking for the lady who he was fighting with.
Pharaoh.
Pharaoh?
Her name's Pharaoh.
Oh, Pharaoh. Oh, you saw the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's looking for her.
He wants to kill Fong. She wants to save Fong, and he lost her. The Terminator lost Fong, so he's going after Pharaoh to find out who took Fong and where she is. There's a humongous fight between her and the Terminator in this book.
Yeah, and they fight, like, really. But then she says, like...
She figures out she can't kill him.
Right.
She doesn't know what he is, but she figures out she can't kill him, so she says, can you talk? Are you able to communicate? And he's like, yes. She's like, look, this is pointless. We're fighting each other. I want her alive. You want her dead. There are a ton of people that are holding her captive, and neither one of us is getting what we want because these people have her. So how about we team up, save Fong, and then we'll settle our differences later.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, did she just say to team up with someone after he was trying to kill her after all those issues? I mean, I knew it was going to come eventually because people who fight each other always team up, but... I was actually, and he actually agreed that they should team up to look.
It's the most logical conclusion.
I was gonna get to that point, but you basically it's one wants her Wong was it Wong?
Fong.
Yeah, Fong dead, and one wants her alive, and they're gonna team up just to, you know, do all that stuff.
Honorable mention because this book was freaking awesome. Love the artwork. Guilty pleasure. Garfield's Pet Force 2014 special came out this week, guys. If you enjoyed Pet Force from Garfield, you're going to love this book.
Yeah, I remember.
I loved
Pet
it.
Force.
They had like a Crisis of Infinite Universes thing going on. It was great. And again, if you're a fan of Garfield, you're going to love the book. If you're not, or if you don't read Garfield,
nope. Okay, good.
It was one story straight through, and it was really, really good. So guys, if you are interested in Pet Force, if you're a fan of Garfield, definitely check it out. My guilty pleasure when it comes out once. Well, this month it comes out twice. And the 25th issue is coming up soon, so that's a huge one. So, now we go into Valiant, which we didn't do Rye, but Mike did read.
Shadow Man End Times #1.
It's a mini-series coming out of Shadow
and let
Man.
me tell you this. This was practically almost Book of the Week. Basically, it talks about the father,
the original Shadow Man.
Josiah? I don't know how the hell you say his name.
Josiah.
Yeah, Josiah.
Josiah? Whatever.
Who was the first Shadow Man before Jack was. And it talks about, you know, how he, like, killed people. And basically it just showed about who the Shadow Man really was. And then it goes to the present where the woman says, like, the government asks her questions like, do you know about
Josiah.
Like Josiah, like anything else, and there's like a whole big question about that. And then we go into Jack's story after the whole thing. You can read the beginning of that. And what I like about this story is that there's two sides. Like one side where Shadow Man controls Jack, and Jack doesn't want to do it. Like he's like saying, "No, I don't want to do this," and then Jack says, "Yes, we have to do this. Like this is what we were brought up to." And the woman who's pregnant is the son, is the baby of Jack's, and they're saying, you know, if you know of Shadow Man and you're gonna bring this baby into the world to be like him with the mask, you know, or spirit, whatever it is. I think it's a spirit, really. But it goes into detail, and I like how it shows two sides. Like Jack doesn't want. I think his name is Jack, right?
Yeah, his name is Jack.
Yeah,
you're right.
Jack's side doesn't want to do these things, and Shadow Man controls him. It's like the symbiote controlling Venom, you know, but it's in similarity, differences there in some ways. And that's what I liked about this issue. It was just really interesting how, you know, this woman wanted to help him too, either Helen or... And it had to do about the LOA, of searching for it, the LOA. She does ask help from that girl, the one that does the glue thing with the mohawk and stuff like that. And she asks her for help. So she makes the glue to give to Shadow Man to release the spirit from him. So when he's in a situation where he murdered a man, which he didn't want to do, but Shadow Man got him to do it. Later on in the panel, the woman comes in to give him the glue. You could go down now. This is just other stuff. You know, he wanted to get run over by a truck, and then Shadow Man says, "I can't let you do that." Like, it just went see-through. So she gave the glue to him, and the Shadow Man spirit came out of him, and has now left Jack's whole body and everything until it finds another host to do. And there's lots of other stuff that happened that you could definitely read the comic book. The artwork is just really like detailed and so dark and everything, and it really describes the book. So now the ending bar just says it all. Like,
he's looking for the spirit of Shadow Man is going to look for the original Shadow Man.
Exactly, and that's going to be probably Joshua, Josiah, however
whatever you pronounce, yeah.
But I have a funny feeling that he's going to be up with Jack in the future issues, and wow.
Also, I'm looking forward to Armor Wars. There is an advertisement for that.
I didn't read that, actually.
No, I'm just saying there's an advertisement for it.
Well, I didn't have time, that's why I didn't read it.
So, now from Boom Studios, we have Dream Police, issue number 1. What'd you think of that? It's written by J. Mike Straczynski, by the way.
Yeah, I was looking at that, I'm like saying, his name sounds familiar from this.
Superman Grounded.
Thank you, that's what it was. So, it's basically about two guys. It was Frank and his partner Joe, and they're working on this case where they're going over this house to was like a dead cat, and I think the one leather jacket, I think it was Frank. He could talk to things that are dead because he could like see the spirits and everything. Like, they're alive to him when he talks to them and everything, but the other person can't see it. So he asks him, the cat, questions about stuff that he wanted to know and everything. By the way, the artwork's very detailed and drawn to perfection and everything. And the cat wound up to be alive in the end. So what these detectives are is that people who they see that have these weird entities that are like dreaming, they want to actually stop them before it gets very destructive. And they actually have these people with the top hats that are alongside of them, and we don't know, basically, like I don't remember who they are. It's like just with top hats, and I was wondering what good use they're going to be to Frank and Joe. So we find out in the further issues how they are. So when they go out to find out new things and everything, you go down. This is where the real action actually kicks in, where they meet up with, after they're eating and everything, they meet up with this guy who has an electrical energy. And it's basically like the nightmares and stuff like that. So it's basically up to both of them to stop him from causing all this destruction before the nightmare really gets to him. And since he knows how to communicate with them, he has every which way of doing it. And the action was just really crazy and action-packed and lots of shocks and wow. It was like I was looking at Electro for a second there. But the guys with the top hats come in and save them. I mean, all they had to do was just take off their top hats and bright light, and that was it. So basically, they saved their behinds and everything. And after that, there was a new partner that was with them that wasn't Joe, and it was the same line that they said from the beginning of the book, although the person who responded to Frank was a different sentence. So whatever happened to Joe, because he didn't feel well at the restaurant, I guess he kicked the bucket. Because there was a new partner. And I was looking back and forth like saying, wait a minute, that wasn't he a dude, not a chick?
Yeah, he changed, the character changed.
Yeah. But it was interesting. I really thought it was pretty cool. And I want to leave out some stuff because I want you guys to definitely check it out.
Final part 2, Hacktivist.
Yeah, Hacktivist, issue number 4. Where Ed now is in control of the Tenuncia, and there's like a whole big revolution. It's Ed versus, I hate when I forget names. Basically against his friend, really, who he was with. And he works with this lady that's part of the Save Yourself thing. And there's like just a whole big revolution. Like, Ed wants to make peace with people. And the people who work at the Your Life just wants to make it the other way around differently. And they just hack each other, like, back and forth and back and forth. If you say his name, it'll probably pop in my head, but I can't remember his name for the life of me.
Nate.
Thank you, Nate. So it's Ed versus Nate, all just hacking computer-wise, is of making revolutions and then making it peace, and then everything just turns out of control where the military is looking for Ed. They want to take him down, not to take him in. The lady that's part of the leader saying to, to take him out, but then they wanted them to hold their fire because of certain stuff. You want to know what it was about, read the book. And after that, they just took action quickly, and it looked like that they killed him. But I don't think he's dead. I think that there might have been some other way, but who knows. And Nate goes in, and they have a little, and he has to talk with the lady, just saying, everything else. So he sees the clues that Ed put with the whole SAVE and everything else, and he's like saying, it was like saying like, oh, Ed, no, you didn't, and then he just says, let's get to work.
So apparently there's something going on with Ed, or maybe Ed
and
is
it
still
wasn't
out
to
there
be
somewhere.
continued or anything. I guess that's the end.
Maybe there'll be another volume at some point.
I hope so, because I really enjoyed Hacktivist. I mean, the whole 4 parts, 4 to 4.5 out of 5. The whole 4 of them.
And just give us a brief moment, and then we're going to continue on. Alright, next up we have Chew, issue number 41.
How are you still reading?
It's a good book. I'm loving it.
I tried.
Spoiler alert in this issue, Agent Cho gets married. But his marriage, or his honeymoon in Vegas, gets cut short when the FDA calls him on a state of emergency. He's basically the golden boy now of the Bureau. So, and here's a page. That's Agent Pollo.
Are you serious?
Agent Pollo.
That look with a unicorn?
No, that's a Tyrannosaurus with a unicorn. Don't question.
What?
Anyway, he gets called in on a case. All these people got melted to death by, what was this? Hot fudge. But one person survives. Cho ends up chewing on some guy. It turns out one of the people who was killed was Professor Anazani, and he made all the weapons for the FDA. And this weapon that shoots hot fudge kind of got stolen. And the people who stole it killed everybody there except that one person who survived. And they think that it's an act of the, oh god, what were they called? The Church of Immaculate Ova. And it's not, as a matter of fact, Agent Cho says, no, that's exactly what he wants you to think. It's not the cultist. It's something completely different, something bigger. And it turns out it's this guy called the Collector. And he knows exactly where the guy is, which is hilarious. And case is solved by literally in 2 pages.
Look brutal.
The FDA gets the gun back. Agent Cho is a hero. Put in the paper, Golden Child. The director is still very pissed off, very bitter about things. He disappears, and then the ending,
The only thing I could say...
I'm not touching that ending.
All I can say is a dinosaur with a unicorn. Thought I've seen it all, but oh my god, that was...
Well, I'm not touching that ending, but that was a shocker ending. She was still just... I love it. Ever since I started reading it, it's a really good book.
I'm letting you keep that book, so... Next
is your book, the last book of the week. Dexter.
IDW, Dexter's Laboratory.
Could be leading into the crisis that's going to be going on in Cartoon Network.
Really?
Uh-huh.
What crisis?
It's coming. You'll see. Next month.
Ooh, I can't wait for that. So Dexter's Laboratory talks about Dexter, boy genius, who works in his secret laboratory. And he has... you know, mother and father who aren't really, you know, around the house that much, and his annoying sister Dee Dee that goes, ooh, what's this button do? And she just destroys almost every invention that she does. So thinking that she went to dance class, Dexter, like, was talking about, like, all these scientific stuff and, you know, all the other things of a certain DNA and stuff, of the brain, actually, he talks about. And he tries it out when he goes in the zero gravity. And when he goes in there, Dee Dee just comes out of nowhere saying that she forgot her shoes. And then she just starts destroying his invention and everything. And he just gets so mad because the poor boy's trying everything. And then he's like saying, well, I guess I have to go now. And it's like, wow. And then it shows this. The artwork's classic, by the way, of all the inventions that Dee Dee's ruined. And he just wishes how he was the only child and everything. So he just comes up with all these crazy knickknacks and stuff like that. So he does so, and it's just like... I don't want to get too much into it because... you know, Dee Dee's just really just something. And, like, it's just really classic, the whole thing. And now, next month is, gonna be another, you know, it says to be continued. I like how they did that, because I saw what they did there, so... Really something for the kids to read. I mean, if you're a Dexter's Laboratory fan like I was back in the days watching on Cartoon Network.
I remember that.
I can't give so much away because I want them to read this. I can't do that. I mean,
it looks really good from what I was looking at.
Yeah, it really was, and I really enjoyed that. I'm liking how they're bringing in here. But what's this crisis you're talking about?
You gotta look it up yourself.
What do you mean I gotta look it up myself? I do so much reading and everything. See what he does to me all the time. He does this.
You'll be reading about it soon enough.
Yeah, I better. But yeah.
So guys, that's
it for this week.
That's it for this week. Last week of April. Next week we will be covering the first week of May.
May, your birth month.
Yep. So hopefully maybe one day we'll catch up and we'll actually be on time.
We're trying.
We're trying. It's busy.
Especially this month.
Again, apologies for the schedule being like last week. Apologies for no morning stream this week, guys. It's been a busy weekend. Next weekend, everything should be calmed down again. There may be some new faces on this channel, or a new face on this channel at some point.
Yeah. Probably.
So,
you never know.
Lots of big things coming. Yep. And actually, starting tomorrow, Monday, today, when you guys are watching this, it is officially Zenescope Annual, the Zenescope Annual Week celebration on Comic Frontline.
I'm looking forward to
We
this.
actually have a special unboxing, which God willing will hopefully be at our house sometime by the middle of this coming week. And a lot of our Zenescope stuff is probably going to be put on hold until that comes. If not, then we might start reviewing a couple of things we have digitally. I know we have Jungle Book. We have a few other books that we have digital. So
Let them wait.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give it away.
Very true. So we got a lot of stuff coming from Xenoscope, and hopefully we got big things before the week is out. So look forward to that on Comic Frontline. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. Look forward to the big 2 reviews tomorrow night, or tomorrow morning, I should say. And until then, everybody, don't forget to check out comic-related Comic Frontline and Zone4Podcast.com. Together we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Let us know in the comments below what you guys thought of these books. Likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, comments, questions, what have you, and your comments will be heard on this Friday's weekly comic book haul.
And also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well.
Indeed. So until next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys really soon in the next review. Later, everybody.
Later, guys.